Hey guys, it's me, my face, and wine, because it's a wine day. Today's happy dance that isn't quite so happy is brought to us by wine, because I haven't used any points today and I'm using them on wine. Don't judge me. I'm using the treat glass because I broke the Trek one. Stupid Raydon. If you're new here, my name is Andrea and I am not generally this surly. That's a lie, I am. But this is a channel about cross-stitch and cats, drinking, eating, whining, all the things. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. I have notes for today. We'll see how wantonly I ignore them. I could have sorted these before I started, but why would I? I think today I actually have more finishes than I have whips. That may or may not be true. In an effort to take these things in some sort of order, the first thing that I worked on is Death by Cross Stitch. I know! This is a Long Dog sampler. I am doing it on, I believe, 32 count Ivory Lugana. It's close to that, if not that. Yeah, I had a little talk with myself. And I said that I am never going to make any progress on this until I figure out what I'm going to do with, let's see what you can see, this section here. So I sat down and in one night, I did that section. I just bit the bullet. I could not decide which part of this needed to be done in the variegation. I know that those are like tulips. So did I want to do just the heads in purple? Did I want to do the, the leaves and the stems? How much of the stem? How much? I had to stop arguing with myself and just do it. And I did. So I finished all the way across here. I finished this little guy and I evened this off at the bottom. So pretty much I just need to fill in these little doodahs, get this strip done. I'm skipping the initials for now and I can move this up and get moving because right about here is like the center of the project. So I'm halfway done. Kind of. I need to get this thing moving. I cannot work on this thing for another 4 years. That's too many. The next thing I worked on is also a Long Dog sampler. This is Templar Prophecy. And this is being done on, let's say, 30-something count. Vintage country mocha, maybe? I don't know. The thing over here should have told you. The moose at the entrance should have told you. What did I do? I don't know. I know I did this little line down here. I know I filled in backstitch here on this bird. And some small backstitching needed all up in here. So I know I did that. I believe I finished off this kind of, I know it's not Greek key, but it's uppy, downy, back and forthy divider thingy. So I finished that off. And yeah, I think I just cleaned up some little areas. Guys, I had no idea. Look at, there's ants on his tail. Ants. I stitched ants. I didn't even know it until I backstitched. I think the backstitching is really what keeps me from trying to do one of these 1/1. And I'm pretty sure that I have seen, is it Almond M&M's? Is it Ymir who has done one or one like it? maybe 1/1. I don't know. What am I talking about? Could be anything. But yeah, if the backstitching didn't make such a difference, I'd say I just won't do the backstitching and I'll do it 1/1 somewhere. But I don't want to lose my ants. The next thing I worked on from the Are You Kidding Me basket is Seedy Pumpkin Cottage. This is by Praiseworthy Stitches. Praiseworthy Stitches. Praiseworthy Stitches, that's what it says. What did I do? I did all this guy, all that. Look at the green. Look at that. Eventually there's supposed to be, I guess, a button that kind of covers up a lot of that green. So it's cool. It's fine. I'm into the green. It's fine. I don't know how I feel about the white of the ghost being quite so close to the white of the house. I mean, I can kind of see that there's a difference, but oh, I just knocked something down. Knocked down my Snoopy. So maybe later that gets some backstitching. Maybe if I feel like it needs it. This is not a decision that today's Andrea needs to make. This is a long way off from being done. I am finding it difficult to work on this the way I'm working on it, which is I scanned the pages and put them into, not Pattern Keeper, but I put them into OneNote so I can mark off where I've been working, but the pages don't overlap nicely and I'm a little nervous to get off track. So I think I need to go and make a paper copy of this and just kind of tear it apart and tape it back together and make it the way I want to, and maybe take some pictures of those joins and where they come together so that I know where I'm at, because I don't like just stitching the page that's in front of me and then finding out that there's like 3 more stitches here in that color that now I need to do. That annoys me. So yeah, I just need to find a better way to work on this. But otherwise, I love how this is coming out. Love. The next thing I worked on is White Christmas. This is from New York Dreamer. It is from New York Dreamer. And I am not as close to done as I thought I would be. Now that we are in January, I have lost some momentum on these Christmassy patterns. But this is really a lot more winter. I mean, there are packages that will be on his back and all, but I think the deer came out really cute. He's got some little hooves that need to go in, and then he's standing on some snow. But like the biggest part of this pattern is done. So really it's just fill in. Hopefully that will be done for next week, and then I can decide how I want to finish it. Because it's Christmas, I kind of want to finish it at least in a way that I can put out year after year and not just like, I don't want this to go into the scrapbook that doesn't have anything in it. I don't even know why I bring it up kind of thing. But I want to do something with it. The next thing I worked on is a freebie from La Di Da. This is the Alphabet and Hare sampler. And I got just a few more letters done. I don't know why I did most of the things that I worked on in like the past 2 weeks. I worked on at least twice. I only picked this up once, and I feel like if I had done it a second time, I would probably be pretty close to a finish. But look at this 1/1edness. Just revel in that 1/1edness. I never get tired of that. I do get tired of this mystery linen though. I still have a ton left. I have to find a project that I can just do on this and get it out of my life. The next thing I have is a couple of new starts. I actually, okay, I worked on this one a little bit just to start it. And I sat down last night to kind of get ready, get things prepped for today's video. And I said, oh, I don't have a little side graphic thing for this thing. I was like, the next time I do it, or the next time I work on it, I'm going to finish it. So I just finished it last night so that I didn't have to make a little graphic thingy. This is a freebie from Prairie Schooler. It was just, I think it's just called Whoo. And so he's just a little owl. And so I did him in 2 sittings. And I think he came out super cute. He is on what was probably 18 count white Aida that I coffee dyed. And I used the called for colors because that's what you do with a Prairie Schooler, except for the green snowman. We all know this. Foreshadowing. I started him because I felt like I should always have a Prairie Schooler going. Foreshadowing. All right, my next new start is a little controversial. I know. Maybe somebody out there can help me with this, or I have to email the little stitcher and ask. I have this pattern called the Pickety Witch, and I have started it on a lovely piece of linen. I want to say it's Lakeside. There is a side graphic for this thing, so it should be telling you what I used. And I'm subbing out, what am I subbing out? Am I subbing them all out? I don't know. I do know that I'm subbing out the black for Silks for You, silk. So I have this pattern. It's PDF. It's sitting in a folder with all the other PDFs that I have purchased from Little Stitcher. But I don't have a record of buying this pattern from her on Etsy. So I did a search. And it's not coming up on the freebies on the Little Stitcher blog. But when I Google search this file, a link comes up directly to the PDF, which I don't think is something I would have necessarily just downloaded without knowing where it came from. So I kind of want to know, was this ever a freebie? Did I buy it from a different source? Or do I owe Little Stitchers some money? I have to figure that out. I may just go shopping on Etsy and buy a few patterns and see what happens. But I did get a tiny little start. This is all just that Silks for You black, which honestly is not as... I mean, I think when I bought it, I think it was just called black, but it is very dark gray, which I'm fine with. Except I want to try to use it in some other places, and it really does call for black. But look how nice. Stitching with silk on this linen. It's insanity. It is so good. It is so smooth. And the stitches just lay so nicely. I am enjoying this. Please, I need to find out that this was a freebie or something because I need to be able to enjoy stitching this pattern. But this is the first piece that I am stitching on my fancy new linens from Metro Stitcher. Thank you. Thank you very much. And not knowing whether these are actually the called for or not, I am stitching this in Silks for You black, Weeks Dye Works Dirt Road. I must be subbing things out because this is Victorian Motto Wild Sage, Victorian Motto Desert Brown Tones, Victorian Motto Heirloom, Victorian Motto Remington Bronze, Victorian Motto Dark Cocoa Bean, and something that I labeled Spooky Shadows, which I think is probably also Victorian Motto. I just didn't put the VM on there. I have taken to separating out just what I need for these small projects so that I don't have entire skeins kind of held out for a little project that if I decide not to go back to this in 6 months, I don't want all those colors held up, you know, on a ring somewhere when I could be filtering them out into other projects. I'm so smart. I have some finishes. And when I say some, I got some finishes. I had finished the stitching on this. This is Sunflower Santa from the Sunflower Seed. And I had finished all the stitching on this a while back, but he needed a fancy beard. Look at the fancy beard on my wee little Santa. He's so wee. My wee Santa is a wizard. Look at him. He's so cute. And by doing this piece, I had the confidence and understanding to finish. Oh Lord, where'd she go? Miss Millie Snow. Is that what she is? Miss Millie Snow. This was Teresa Miller. I finished all the stitching on this one, and I gave her bonnet her little bow. I did end up doing the back stitching on the face, just to give her a face, because it did look a little weird for her not to have one. I also ended up swapping out the color for the sheep. It was supposed to be this almost, like you can barely see it there in the snowflake. So I changed it out to a darker gray, I want to say galvanize. And I think he came out super cute. Clearly did not do any sort of, ironing or anything. But this is one that I think is going to go in the scrapbook that has nothing in it yet. Because I just can't imagine. I mean, I could put her out for winter-ish. She almost strikes me as a little springy. I don't know. By the time it is appropriate to put out Miss Millie Snow, I will have long forgotten that I even stitched it. So yes, I think that needs to go in the scrapbook that isn't. My next finish was Christmas Helpers. This is from Swallick Stitchery. And not only did I finish the stitching, but I went out, I found buttons, and I took my scrapbooking supplies that I never use for anything, and I kind of tarnished it up a little and made it a little dirty so that it kind of went a little better, because otherwise it was going to be like this bright primary yellow. And I put the button on, and there's supposed to be a heart button over here. I didn't find any heart buttons that I liked and that I wanted to put on there, so I just don't think I'm going to. This is another one that I just want to maybe do a hoop finish or something to get it into the Christmas stuff so that it can come out next year and be a decoration, because look how cute they are. Look at the cat. I can't stop showing you the cat. Look how cute he is, putting the star on. I love him so much. And my last finish is a Halloween freebie. This is from SubRosa, and honestly, guys, I just finished this to get it finished. I was just kind of tired of it hanging around in my whip pile. And there is not much more to say on that. It is on 14 count black Ada. And other than the fact that I have 2 more tubes of this, I don't ever want to stitch on this again. I'm going to have to, but I really don't want to. I mean, it came out cute. You know, it'll look nice if I decide to mount it somehow, but I am all done with this. This was a project to try to get rid of some Victorian motto, and it looks really good. It's beautiful thread. It came out nice. I'm done with it. I had kind of a weird bout of creative energy in the past week. I have started probably no fewer than 7 new patterns. Maybe for the Etsy store, maybe. They may just turn into ideas instead of actual patterns. But one I did actually start the model stitch on, and I can show you the beginning, because there's not much you can get out of that other than not. This is only 2 of the colors. I just pulled what I needed for the moment. But it's going to be surprisingly colorful. Very surprisingly colorful. It even surprised me. Let's put it that way. So hopefully I can get that finished and, appropriate. I can get it done well enough that I can put it in the Etsy store and people could enjoy it. Fun fact. I have an Etsy store. Just saying. I got 2 little piles of haul in the mail. First thing that came was from 123 Stitch. I have the Valdani green. Does it say the name of it? Olive green. Andrea, take it out of the bag. Are you new with this? This is a great color. I'm just not entirely sure that nobody else would have made a color, you know, that would look as good as this is going to look. This is going to look great. I got this for Oh Christmas Tree. So hopefully this week I can make a start on that. It's going to be on pretty 40 count linen. I want to say lentil, I think is the color. Pretty sure that's the color. We'll find out when it gets started. So I got that. I got just some backup skeins of Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler and Camouflage because you just can't have enough of that. And I also got Milner's needles so that I can try to do some of those stupid knots. Milliners needles, so that I can try to do the French knots and or colonial knots for city sidewalks and other fun endeavors. The other shipment I got is from Kitten Stitcher, and I cannot explain to you how much I love ordering from her. I adore all the things that she does. I got the button pack for Halloween Town, and they are, look how cute they are. Look at the bat. Look at the bat and the bird. So hopefully I can get those sewn on this week, so we'll have another finish next time for Halloween Town. And then, you know, I had said earlier that, one, you can't just order $9 worth of anything from Kitten Stitcher. And that I at all times kind of wanted to have a Prairie Schooler going because I really enjoyed doing those, like, you know, the Misfortune and Who's There and that whole series. And so I thought, why not just start another series? Why not just start doing some Santas? I don't feel like I need to put them all on the same fabric, but I want to put them all on the same count fabric, and I want it to be not fabric that I coffee dyed and brought all out of alignment or out of evenness. So a lot of those smaller pieces that were sent to me that I showed you last week are going to get some Prairie Schooler Santas on them. Am I going to do all of them? Maybe. But I figure this will always keep me going. So I got the 2020 Santa just because I love those bunnies. The one hanging onto the stick and I can't. And this is the 2017 Santa who I loved with the polar bear. And these are original cardstock ones. Not that I personally don't have any issues with reissues and things like that, unless they're charging like a ridiculous price for something that obviously now costs less to produce. But these are the originals. And so now I have a series, and I'll use all the called fors because, you know, they're colored geniuses, and we'll go from there. So for 2 years, I'm going to be one of those people that have a Prairie Schooler tree in their house with nothing but Prairie Schooler ornaments. Did I mention that I was going through some of my paper patterns and I found Prairie Schooler Christmas trees that I think came in a care package from Laura, because I don't think I ever bought them. So yeah, those need to be done too, because I got time. Last week we had a giveaway, or last video we had a giveaway, and you should start seeing a video up here soon showing me choosing our winner. We ran into a little thing this time that I hadn't thought of, and It's not a problem. Nobody did anything wrong. We're all fine here. It appears that somebody put their name in twice, maybe assuming that it hadn't gone through the first time or something. And I've never said anything about that. But in the future, anybody who, if I see two lines that look like they're identical, I'm going to combine them just so that everybody gets one shot at it. So no duplicate entries is all I'm saying. But the winner ended up being Jane Wiggins. Thank you so much for watching and participating. And look at this. I have it in the envelope, sealed up, addressed. I just have to get postage and put it in the mail. This could potentially go out this week. One way or another, it's going to go out. But congratulations. I did not pull anything down for another giveaway this week, so we will do that in the next video. So that is about it for the stitching. Let's take a drink break. Yes, I need this. So from here on in, I just have a little chatting, a little update. If you care about things like Weight Watchers and some books that I read, stick around. Otherwise, I bid you adieu. I am back on, I shouldn't say back on Weight Watchers. I didn't go off it. I just kind of gave myself a lot more leeway over the holidays. You know, most specifically just like Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving, that kind of thing. So I managed to not gain. I gained, I want to say like an eighth of a pound or something over the course of Thanksgiving through Christmas through New Year's. And my last weigh-in, I'm actually down 10 pounds from where I started back in the beginning of November. So we're doing good. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at cooking for myself and making things that, you know I can have, and knowing the points, available for them. I am not real great at kind of like planning the food. Like I will watch 10 videos with 10 recipes and I will buy all the stuff for all the recipes, and then half of the fresh stuff goes bad before I can use it. So even like, weeks where I'm good and roast up all my vegetables on a Sunday, I find by the end of the week they're all pretty suspect and they're definitely not going to make it into the next week. So I either end up throwing some things out, or I end up doing like on a Friday or Saturday, I do like a garbage plate of just everything that's left in the fridge. And, it at least gets used and it's within my points, but it's not the best of a meal. I think what I might try doing is maybe every other or every third week making that big pot of chili that ended up being like 2 points per serving, and the serving was the size of a Volkswagen. Maybe over the course of, I think that week, I lost more weight than in any other week. And I mean, yeah, it's beans and taco seasoning. You're gonna lose weight one way or another, but at least I was full through the whole thing. And I think now that I have a better handle of what I can and can't have, I could have like pita bread with it, or I could have some cornbread even with it, and still stay within my points and enjoy it more. And I do find myself missing carbs a lot, but I'm surviving. Here's to being down 10 more pounds by April. That would rock. Around the end of December, I want to say, I kind of just got into, I watched a video of somebody who was like just recommending like the year's best horror books or their favorite horror books. And I said, well, I like horror and I like books, so maybe I'll just download a couple of books and I'll read. My problem with reading is I don't just sit down and read for an hour at night. I have to read for 8 to 10 hours, and I need to finish that dang thing because I don't like it hanging over my, it's not easy. Try reading Stephen King, 800 pages. I need to take a week off from work. So I did get through 2 books in 2 days, and I have to say that they both kind of killed my urge to read. So there's that. The first one that I read was The Intercept. It was not bad. It wasn't a bad book, but it was meh. I think it went the long way around to, I feel like there was a lot of it in there that somebody said, well, you need more words or it's not a novel. It's only a novella. So there seemed to be a lot that went on that didn't need to and had nothing to do with the story and didn't get us anywhere. I liked the story. I liked the idea of it. I almost feel like it would have made like a better movie than a book, maybe. But yeah, I give it a solid And the other one I read is The Silent Patient. And this, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know which, this was a book that I read and I enjoyed right up until I didn't. Like, I would have given it 4 stars until like the last 2 chapters. And then it just sort of plummeted. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you shouldn't have even been enjoying it that much to start with, because all of these things were wrong with the story. It was a great story. I don't think it was told real well. I feel terrible saying that because I don't think I could have told it any better. I like twists and I like twist endings. But they need to make some sort of sense. They can't just be like, ta-da, it was all this all the time. No. So I give that one a solid, don't. I could probably be persuaded to read something from that author again. I don't know, maybe this just wasn't their best shot. Maybe this wasn't their best work. But the person on the video recommended these. So I think her opinion is a little suspect. A little suspect. I was thinking of doing a little mental health update, but honestly, there's not much to update on. I am, fully a mess in all the ways. There's just no getting around it. I have a prescription from my therapist who has recommended that I take a few days somewhere, just to like get away from work and home and the usual, and just be somewhere I'm not used to being and doing something I'm not used to doing, and just decompress for a few days. And I can't think of anywhere that I want to go other than maybe like a stitching retreat. I'm going to have to find one I can get to, before Omicron has children with Delta and no good happens from there. It's like I want to travel and go places, but I don't, because I feel like then I'm part of the problem of the people who are bringing the germs all over the place and transporting them across state lines. It should be illegal. Don't do it. But yeah, I think this coming year I need a retreat. I'm hoping I can find one close. Like, I had been planning to go to Arizona. What was it? 3 years ago now? 2 years ago? That's not happening. But I understand that Celebration is in New Hampshire, and that's kind of close to get to, relatively speaking. But I'm not sure when that is, so I have to look it up. But either way, if anybody hears about retreats that are somewhere in the Northeast that maybe don't make the big time, like that people don't talk about on like Pam and Steph will talk about things, and I know that Priscilla and Chelsea are doing something, I want to say in Ohio, maybe. I don't think I'm going to Ohio. But Who knows? Otherwise, maybe I'll, plan like a non-retreat over at Stitch New England, which I still haven't gotten to yet. And I'm heartbroken that I missed the Bendy Stitchy trunk show there, because I really would have liked to have, handled the things that there's probably a sign that says don't touch the models. And you know what? I was going to straight up do it no matter what. But I'm very disappointed that I missed that. But, maybe if I just say, hey, I'm going to get a hotel in Providence and we're going to spend the day over at Stitch New England. Come join me. Who knows? Maybe we can all make a day of it. I'll figure it out. And I'm sure there's a bar nearby. So, an Applebee's or something. I'll drink at an Applebee's. As long as nobody sings that song. Don't sing the song. Right, I think that is about it for me this week. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes and even your dislikes. I'm watching you, little disliker, after it's been live for 7 minutes. Watching you. Thank you for your comments. I am way behind this week on getting through them, but I do read every single one of them, and I appreciate them. And I appreciate you. Thank you for being my community. Bye, guys.